Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a new Sudoku from South Korea today, and this is from Sudokun, who has been. He said, "I am the guy from Korea who's been following you since the summer." Now, I didn't know there was only one. I didn't know there was one. I didn't know there was only one. But Sudokun, you're very welcome. And you have sent us a puzzle called Thermo Tornado. And you can see that there is a kind of inward spiral of thermos and circles and squares here going into the middle of the puzzle. We're in the eye of the storm, clearly, in this tornado. Now, a one-off in this puzzle is if you call up the puzzle on the link, you will see that there is a version of the rules in what I presume is Hangul, the script of South Korea. So that's brilliant. I mean, all Korean is written in Hangul, I think. So that is available there. Unless, I mean, I'm not reading that. It could say anything, but I'm assuming that is the rules of the puzzle, which I will go through in English in a moment. But it's great that we have such an international following. It's absolutely marvelous. I have met a couple of people from Korea who followed the channel before, in fact, at a World Championship. So it's not unknown. It's just not common to hear from the Korean following of Cracking the Cryptic, but it's a very popular channel, and we think we have followers everywhere. So this bears that out to an extent. Now, those followers everywhere, of course, are very much entitled, if they've joined our Patreon or been able to, they will have been able to play the Hobbit Puzzle Hunt by Blobs, which is our monthly reward for Patreons, and it's proving incredibly popular. Give yourself a treat and try the 19 puzzles available there. Pretty tough stuff sometimes. I mean, not as hard as, for instance, Simon's video from yesterday, or many of the ones that appear, particularly in his slot on the channel, but certainly medium to medium hard, I would say. Give it a go. That is great fun. And if you want something a bit easier, there's all of our apps, of course, which produce marvelous puzzles, and do check them out. They are very good. What else have we got going on? We've got, the apps, of course, include Thermo Sudoku, but also Fog of War, and that is our latest and proving very popular. Check it out. There's our merch, like the old water bottle. There's SVEN'S Sudoku Pad. There are the links under the video, and there is also a link, of course, to this puzzle with the rules both in English and Korean. And the rules in English are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits don't repeat on either marked diagonal. So that's one of the diagonals. There's a very poor attempt to delineate the other, and then failed to hit the key. There we go. There's the other, 1 to 9 on that. Digits along a thermometer increase from the bulb end. A digit in a grey square is even, and a digit in a grey circle that's not a thermo bulb is odd. And that's it. That's all we get. Give it a try. It looks like a neat construction to me, and I'm going to restart my clock and say, let's get cracking now. So, I mean, my name is Goodliffe, and if you look up to Goodliffe in the Urban Dictionary, it'll say to fill in all the pencil marks possible, all the candidates possible in a Sudoku, or some part of it. So that thermo has to increase all the way. The one digit missing in that row is an odd digit that is going to sit here. I'm even going to pencil mark this one. I might stop after that. I'm really not going to go round the spiral until I've pencil marked that one, which would have 8 candidates in each cell. I mean, I might go on to this one. Let's just see. There is a 4 in there. Let's just see what happens. These thermos are of ever decreasing length. Is that telling me anything? No, I know. Yeah, here we go. This is what Simon would have done. Rather than spend a minute pencil marking those thermos, he would have looked at, I'm guessing, but I think I know him well enough. He would have looked at box 2 and said, where is the 1 in box 2? It's not on those sections of thermos. If a 1 goes on a thermo, it goes on the bulb. So the 1 is in one of those cells. And for me, at least, that then reduces the candidates on this vertical thermo. So that cell can't be 1. That means the next one can't be 2, etc., etc., etc. And there we go. Right. Has that taught me anything about the puzzle? Probably has. I probably need to ask more questions like that. Just checking we didn't have a knight's move constraint or something. It almost feels like there isn't enough in this puzzle to get this going. So I just need to try and figure out what is going on. Now we place 1 in the final column. Very straightforward, yeah. And that's going to fill in the whole of the top row. Why can't I see that quicker? I don't know. Once you've taken 1 off that thermo, it's clearly not in the square, which is an even digit. So it must be there in the circle. Then I can fill in this whole thermo. Right, now I've got some stuff going on. So this digit, I'm going to mark up this little one because 5, 6, 7 have been taken out of the possibles. So the first cell is probably a 1. I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Other than that, we've got to miss out 2, 3, and 4 and go up to 5 or 6. Then this cell, well, I mean, I suppose if I put 2, 3, 4, no, I have to stop at 4 because I can't use 5, 6, or 7. If I put 8 there, you couldn't populate the last 2 digits. So actually, I'm now populating these from 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. So there's only 3 candidates for each cell. And I'm going to remove 4 from this one because if that was a 4, this would have to be a 3. This thermo would be 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you put 4 and 3 there, you can't fill this cell at the end of the row. So that is 8 or 9. Now, whatever that digit is in one of those 2 cells. And that means this can't be 4 either. Because if this was 4, this would go 4, 8, 9. And both 2 and 3 would go there and kill that cell. So that's not a 4. Oh, I mean, I hadn't even realised that once this got stuck at 4 as a max, that's always a 1 there. It's just given. Honestly, I'm really not seeing the obvious today, but that's fine. I probably never do see the obvious. Now, if that's not an 8, that's a 3, 4 pair, and that's 2. Does that do anything? This digit, okay, this digit is not 9, so there's only one place for 9 in the column, and it's here. That's not going to get anything else done, because this could be 2, 4, 6, or 8, so it doesn't inform any of the others. Probably the diagonals are going to come into play in a moment. Oh, where does 9 go in row 9 now? One of those 3 cells. And therefore 9 in row 7 has only one place suddenly, and it's on the end of this tiny thermo that I resisted pencil marking. Okay, no. I was going to go rather brilliantly, where does 9 go in column 2? But there are plenty of places. Not that brilliant. Right. So, one of the techniques with diagonals is noticing digits that miss the diagonal because for instance, in boxes 1, 4, 1, 5, and 9, the 9 digits on the negative diagonal are going to mean that some digit cannot miss that diagonal every single time. I don't know, 9 could still be there, there, or there, but something like that might get interesting. Oh, this can't be 8, this even digit, 2, 4, or 6. And this one in the middle, that can't be 2 or 6. So that's already down to 4 or 8. Okay. This one is also 4, 6 or 8. It's seeing that 2 on the negative diagonal. Oh, 1. Oh, no, not quite. 1 in the bottom row can't be there because of the positive diagonal. So there are 2 places left for 1. It can't be in this circle, which is 3, 5 or 7. If that was 5 or 7, it's a little constraining at the top. Gosh, no, I'm not really seeing what's going on now. If that was a 3, this has to be 8. You can't have 3, 4 there without breaking this. So if that's a 3, this goes 3, 8, 9. That then goes 1, 2, 4 and makes that a 3, which fits okay with this being a 4. Right, I'm going to have to pencil mark this chappie now, I think. It is at least 5 cells long, so we go up to 5 to start with, but we are missing out 3. So when I get to this cell, 4, 5, 6 or 7, 5, 6, 7 or 8, 6, 7, 8 or 9, I'm not sure. Well, 1 in the column. Ah, now we got that 1. 1 in the column is in one of those 2 cells. And therefore, well, I mean, it's probably obvious 1 in box 4 was going to be in one of those. 2 also can't go on the thermo, so 2's over this side. And 2 has to be, well, in one of those 2 cells now. And that means this one can't be 4 or 5. Oh, and it can't be 1 on the diagonal. So that has to be a 2, because 2 has to be in one of those cells. This can't be 4 or 5, or there'd be nowhere for 2 to go in column 2. So this is a 2. And now things are perking up a little, maybe. 4, 5 or 6 there. That reduces the options up the thermo a little. Now 1 in the column, definitely down here on the circle, and that takes 1 out and therefore 1 digit each out of all the cells on this thermo. Now what's that done? We've got 2 onto that diagonal and we had 2 on the other diagonal already. So 2 in the central box is going to be off the diagonals. Might turn out to be a dangerous pencil mark, but I've made it now. This is 5, 7 or 9, because it can't be 1 or 3. That one I don't know much about. We might be just having to be just very cautious. 2 goes into one of those 2 cells, because it can't be on this thermo, and we've got a 2 there, but it can be in the square or in the bulb. But it also means, where's 2 in the bottom row? It has to be here. That puts 2 in one of these cells, and that can't be in the 3rd cell of a thermo. That means this square is not a 2 now, it is 4 or 6. Now if that was a 4, this has to be 3, 2, 8, 9, 1, no, hang on, 4, 3, yes, 1, 2, 8, 9, 4, 3. Everything else would be 5, 6, 7, that seems all right. Look, if this was 4, this all breaks. If this was 4, that becomes 8 on the diagonal. That becomes 3, because it can then see 4 and 8. And then you'd have 3 and 4 in that row already, but still another cell to come. So that is 6. And that doesn't tidy up anything else in the row, or indeed in the column. Bother bobbins, boots. 1, 9, 6, 8. So we've still got 5 and 7 to place in the cells, the non-thermo cells in box 3. Four is in one of those in box 4, and it must be there in column 8. Column 2, that is, sorry. Now, that doesn't necessarily find 4. Well, it stops this square being a 4. Interesting? No, my vote is no, that's not interesting. Six is not in that diagonal cell, so it could be in that square. Bother. 8 and 6. This is this getting, oh right, 8 has to be in one of those, in box 6, and therefore one of these two. If 8 is there, this goes 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. In fact, there's only one place for 2 to go in this column now, and then there'll be one place for 3. And I can fill them in. That 3 looks across to here, makes that a 2. This is now 4 or 8. It's a pair in the central column where that has stopped being able to be 6. Oh, I can't take any candidates out of row 9, column 4 or 6, annoyingly. 1, 2, 6, 3, 8, 9, 1, 6, 2, 3. These are 4, 5, 7 now. Strictly limited. 1, 2, 6. We've got 4 or 8 on that. Well, on both diagonals there. No, I don't know what to do with that. Right. 9. 9 can't be there. That's been available for ages. I can just place 9 in box 6 on the end of a thermo. Now 9 can't be in any of those cells, so... Oh, where's 9 on the diagonal? Yeah, where's 9 on this diagonal? I think it's in one of those two cells. Everything else is ruled out. So 9 being in one of those, I'm not going to pencil mark it, but 9 is in one of those two cells, and therefore it can't be in this cell, which would keep it off both of those. So that's not 9, and that reduces the candidates here considerably. Although it doesn't tell me what this is at all. But 9 is now in one of these two. Yeah, that's the sort of interesting relationship we might have to be looking for. 4 is off that bit of the diagonal. Oh, this now, this even cell can't be a 2. It's 6 or 8. It can't be a 4 either. This is where the 2 goes in the box. Now 2 in the central box is in one of those two. Ew, that's almost... I could nearly place all the 2s, but 2 could just be here if that was 1. In fact, we still have to fit 1 into one of those two cells. Can't be on that diagonal. Oh no, it's easy. 1 is in one of those 3 cells now in box 8, so it's not there, and we place 1 here. Now it's got to be on this thermo with a 2 following it, and unfortunately that leaves an X-wing on 2s that I can't resolve. Now this column, 8, 6, 1, 2, 9, this is from 3, 4, 5, 7. Ah, this is not a 6, because this thermo would go 6, 7, 8 and break that cell. So we've reduced that to not being a 6. This can't be a 5. That didn't quite get anything more done. Looking up the middle column again. Oh, I can nearly do that. That's 1 or 3. It sees the 4, 8 pair in its column, remember. 5, 6, 7. I'm probably missing something utterly blatant that's come free. These, I just need to reduce the candidates by 1 more. How about this row, which is sort of just sitting in the middle? 6 can't be there on the diagonal, so it's in one of those 2 cells, but they're not looking anywhere, so maybe that's not relevant. 1, 2, 6, what else do we need on the diagonal? Or maybe it's time to think about where does this go in whatever it is, 4 or 8. In the boxes the diagonal is pointing at. No, I don't know. I mean, here, for instance, if it can't go in those cells, annoyingly, that does leave. Oh, well, hang on. 6 can't be in those. 6 is therefore on the diagonal here in box 9. Now, keeping 6 off there, Oh, I thought it was going to do something. It doesn't really. 6 is also... Yeah, I don't know. No, but I mean 6 is on the diagonal in one of these two cells. Let's not forget that. This is 3, 4, 5 or 7. Just fill in the candidates when there's only 4. It's a reasonable approach. Now if that was 5, this would go 5, 4, 3. Now I was hoping to deduce something about where 6 goes in the row. Now 3 has to be in one of those cells by Sudoku. And in one of these 3. But that's not really getting anything done. Gosh. Where do we go next? I don't know, is my answer for now. Now we said one of those is definitely 9. 1, 2, 6, 3. That is 5, 7, 8 or 9. So 6 is in one of those two. Not on its diagonal, which we kind of knew. Yeah, in fact, that was sort of something I did before, so that's not a new finding. Bother. I wonder if there's something clever about this quincunx of cells. Or this circle. It doesn't feel like there's anything good to do with that. Oh, I'll tell you what. 6. Yeah. 6 can't be on that diagonal. It can't be on the other diagonal because we know it's in one of those two cells. So in box 5, it's not in that quincunx. It's also not in column 5. And it can't be in the circle. We can place 6 in the middle box, and that's going to give us digits on both thermos. Wow, that's so strange. 7 there, 8 there. Let's hope it does something. I have a feeling it won't do a lot. Well, it takes 4 out of this circle. Now 4 has to be on this thermo in one of those two places. Oh, come on. Okay, I may not be spotting the ramifications of what I just did. This is 3 or 8. That's all that's left. 7, 6, 2, 5. This is odd, but I think that can be 1, 3 or 9. This is only 3 or 9. It sees 1, 4 in the column and 8 in its box. But this one has very few restrictions. 8 can't be there. So 8 is definitely in one of those two. That does rule 8 out of that cell where it couldn't be anyway, but it does also rule 8 out of that cell, but I already knew it was in column 9, in box 9. So it didn't actually do any more. Oh, that's frustrating. How about 6 being in one of those 3? Very uninteresting. So it didn't get that much done. That's maddening. Actually, that is maddening. So I need to find some other breakthrough that's going to help more. Still interested in this 4, 8 pair in the middle column. Are they doing something that I can't see? 6, 4, 8, 9. 2 in one of those. This could be 5 or 7. Dear me, this is tough stuff. 1, 2, 9, 4, 5. These are from 3, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm not seeing where we make any progress at all. Oh, diagonals. Diagonals are so tough to work with sometimes. Now, 1 has to be off that diagonal and off this diagonal, and it can't be in that cell. So 1 in the central box is limited to one of those two, but they're offset, which means it's a little difficult. So, well, if that was 3 or 9, this would be a pair. That would be 1, that would be 2. That would be 8, that would be 4, that would be 1. So we'd have 1s in those positions. That would be a 3. I can't see where that breaks down. 8 is in one of these two. 6, 4, 8, 9. I just feel I could still be missing something in the central column. 2. We know that 1's in one of those two. 2's in one of those two. Any other digits that are revealing what's going on in the central box? I don't think we've got 3, 4, 5 or 7 locked down anywhere on any diagonals, which is a bit frustrating at this point, if I'm honest. Okay, here's a thought. If that's an 8, that's an 8. But if this is a 4 instead, that's a 4. So one of those two is a 4 or an 8. It didn't look likely, and it didn't turn out that that was going to yield anything. Oh, this can't be 7 anymore. I've only just seen that since we placed this. And that can't be 7 or 8. So this is a 5, 9 pair. That reduces this to 7 or 8. Must be in one of those, and must be in one of those 3, whatever it is. We've got 6, 7, 8 as a triple in box 1. Where does that leave us? Are 5 or 9 different? If that was 5, that would be 5. Ooh, 5 in box 9 would have to be there. I can't see that that does anything else major. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we think again. We had those two as possible 9 cells. Now, they not only took 9 out of there, they take it out of here as a candidate. So 9 in box 2 must be in one of those. Is that any use? 9 in box 5 must be in one of those two. So if that's a 9, that's a 9. And if that's a 9, that's a 9. I don't know, but at least we limited 9 in box 5, along with 1 and 2. 4 and 8 can't be in those cells, so one of them's in one of these. If it's 4, we throw 4 over here. Oh, that can't be 4, I've just seen. We've got 4 limited to one of those and 8 to one of those. And only one of them can go with this to make up a 4-8 pair. Oh, goodness, Sudoku, I'm very stuck here. Oh, how on earth are we? Is it something very blatant? Is it really? 3, 6, 3 and 8 must be in these cells, but we knew 8 was confined there and 3 here. That doesn't change anything. Oh, 3 in this box is in one of those 3, because it's not in any of the marked thermo cells, so that's not a 3. Now 3 is definitely in one of those 2. 3 over here. To keep it off the diagonal, it would have to sit here. Then it would be on the thermo. But if it was in that cell instead, it would be on the diagonal. Then 3 couldn't be in any diagonal in the central box. And that would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. Right, if this is a 3, it ends up on both diagonals. That's a very interesting concept, if this is a 3. Then it ends up here. Then we've got a 1, 2, 3 on the off-diagonal pieces of the central box. That's going to put 9 in a position on that diagonal with a 5 coming. 2, 5, 1, 9, 3 would all be on it. I don't know, I'm having to look ahead quite far and not actually seeing the future. A problem that the Oracle at Delphi didn't have. 8741, I don't know, maybe on an off day, maybe they did. 1, 2, 4, we've got 9 in one of these. These are from 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 6, 2, 4. 4 on this diagonal is in one of those 3 spots. This 4-8 pair still feels very powerful and as though I'm doing nothing with it. So 3, well, I mean, it's in one of those 3, but that's not going to add to my pencil marking particularly. My goodness, this is frustrating. So I'm not asking the right question about something, and I don't know what that something is. So let's have another think. Okay, this one, maybe yes. No, oh, I was thinking there might be a stacking thing. If that was a 7, we'd have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8 in the square, 9 in the other end. That would give us a 4 in the middle. Is that doing any damage? Not really. 8 in the middle makes that 6. Then you get 7 there and 8 there. So 8 in the middle puts 8 here. Oh, that's interesting. That would create a 6 in this square. So 8 in the middle creates 8 there. 6 starts getting quite constrained. I can't do it. Okay, let's go the other way around. If this was a 5, this would have to go 5, 7, 8, 9. Now, in fact, for this to be a 6, that's quite tense. 6, 5, 4, 3, 8. This would be a 7, 9 pair. 1, 2, 4, 7, 9. No, okay, let's go back to think about this as a 5. Then this goes 5, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, with a 6 there, that puts 3 in the corner and 4 here. And that feels like a way this doesn't want to go. I don't know why particularly, but let me just try and figure that out. If this is 5, 7, 8, 9, that's another 3. You've got a 3 there. 3 on the negative diagonal would have to be in one of those cells. And that means 3 on the positive diagonal is impossible. Wow, I mean, that's complicated. But if this was a 5, yeah, I'm starting there because, or is it if this is a 3? If this is a 3, are we in this situation already? Yeah, if this is a 3, yeah, this is nice. If this is a 3 in row 9, column 7, 3 is not on that bit of the diagonal. On the negative diagonal, it has to be in one of those cells. Oh, no, I was thinking no 3 there meant that was a 3. Now, let's start with if this is a 5. Then this goes 5, 7, 8, 9. That 9 forces a 3 here. And that's where we're getting the problem from, because 5, 7, 8, 9 there makes that a 6. This is a 3 because it can't be a 4, and that's a 4. And the problem with that is, what was the problem with that? There was a problem with that. 5, 7, 8, 9 puts a 3 here. This is important. This is important. I'm sticking with it. 4 there means 3 is on the diagonal here. Not on the oh, hang on. No, I thought that had to be a 3. Yes. It's making this a 3 that causes, I can't remember what causes the problem now. That being a 9 causes the problem. Okay, I'll start there. That being the 9 makes that a 3. And now, why do I think this is a problem? Oh, I've lost the thread. If that's a 5, this is the 4 in the bottom row. Now 3 is on one of those cells. Therefore, it's not on the diagonal in box 5. Maybe I thought it was on the diagonal in box 5. Now, if this is a 3, then it has to be on the diagonal in box 5. Then it's not on the diagonal there, and it has to go here. So if this is a 3, that's a 9, and this isn't a 9. And then the 9 goes here. But if it's not a 3, the 3 in the bottom row goes here. Oh, well, I've come to a different conclusion. I think this cell is now either 3 or 9. This may not be as helpful a conclusion, but at least I can justify it in recapitulating. If this is a 3, then the 3 on the negative diagonals in one of those two cells, and the 3 on the positive diagonal would have to be here. And that would be a 9, and the only place for 9 in the bottom row would be here. And if it's not a 3, the only place for 3 in the bottom row is in the corner. So that is 3 or 9. Now, 8's in one of those, and therefore this is not a 7 on the end. And 7's in one of these two. And 6. Oh, 6 could be there. Oh no, hang on. 8 in the bottom row could be here. So this could go... No, it can't go 9, 7. Oh, it could. If that's 3 and that's 8. This could go 9... No, something's done down here. Something's goose is cooked. It's probably just mine. 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. I was trying to take 7 out of here. If 7 was here, this goes 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and that's an 8, 9 pair. That looks sort of possible, which is painful to admit. So I'm not taking 7 out of there yet. Oh, bother. Okay, so let's go back to my thought about this being a 5. 5, 7, 8, 9. Then this becomes a 4. Then 3 is on this diagonal. But 3 is also there, so 3 would be off the diagonals in the central box. If that's not a 5, it's a 4, and this is a 3. And again, 3 is off this diagonal, but now it's not there. If that's a 9 though, this is a 3. I still think this is an important relationship. If that's a 9, 3 there makes that 8 and that 4. I feel like there's something going on there, but I can't see it. I'm going to have to stop. Bother. Right, I'm sorry about that. First day back at school, and I'd forgotten I was meant to be picking my son up till suddenly looked at the clock and realised, oh, gotta go. Oh, here's something. I mean, this has been available. It's so funny. I mean, I don't know. This may look like I've just been cheating, but I haven't. First thing I've looked at, sitting down, is this column. 5, 9 pair. That's got to be a 6. Who knows how long I've been sitting staring at that. And it does loads. It does loads. Good God, 6, not 7 there, right. What else does it do? 5, 9, no, 6, 9, 8, 2, 1, that's not 6. 3, 4, 5 or 7. How's this diagonal going? 8 must be on one of those cells. That digit has to be there, so it's not a 3. Oh, I knew it wasn't a 3. I knew 3 was in one of those two. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that. Now, no, I can't see what's going on there. 1, 8, 2, 9, 4. That is not 6, so it's odd. It's 3, 5, or 7. Ah, I just said 8 had to be on one of those cells on that diagonal. 8 has to be on one of these. cells on this diagonal. So it's an overlap in the central cell. So that is a 4, which was not what I was expecting. And does nothing else. We get 8 in the middle. That clearly isn't going to reach into the corner. Cages, boxes. But we need to put 4 on both diagonals. Oh, that's interesting. There's 1 4 that, yeah. Oh look, this is a 4 5 7 triple. Oh, this is a 3 6 8 triple. And in fact, we know where 6 goes on it. It's there. Oh, and 8 is now looking at that cell. This is 9. That's 1. That's 4. Bingo. 2 1 8 6. What this is telling me is that I should occasionally just take a break from a puzzle and come back to it. But I wouldn't do very well in the sort of in the pantheon of live solves all at once, would it? I can't really do that. Certainly can't commit to it. Anyway, 6 could be in one of these. 1 2 4 6 1 2 9 4 5 7. Oh, 8 is now looking at that. That's been happening since I sat down again. 6 9 2 1 8 4. That is also 3 5 or 7. We're getting a lot of 3 5 or 7 digits. I'm starting to wonder about colouring them against each other. Maybe not yet. 4 is in one of those 2 cells. And where it is not, I mean, it's in one of those 2 and one of these 2, and it's all about the diagonals then. That does also mean that 4 is in one of those 2 on this diagonal and therefore not in that cell. But, well, so 4 is in one of those 2 in box 8. It's not quite enough. It's not quite enough. 2 1 8 6. I think this is still about the diagonals. This is so strange. Okay, 4 and 9. 9 is on a diagonal in the central box. But I don't know which one. I was thinking maybe this has to be 9. That would mean the 9, right. Okay, I'm going to say one of these is a 9, at least one of these. Is that any use? No. Because wherever 9 is in this central box, it's on only one diagonal. That's my main point there. 8 1 6 4. 7 and 9 are in these cells. So 9 is in one of those 2 in row 4. And 7 is in one of these 2 in row 4. This isn't a 1. I can place 1 in box 4 there. 1 6. So these are 2 3 4 5. That digit is 3 or 4. What about the pencil marked 1s? And I've found 1, so I can take 1 out. Yeah, that doesn't help. 2 is in one of these cells. In fact, no, this central column, not that helpful, I don't think. Not sure. I can't see how it's doing the job. Let's try the diagonals again. 2 8 6 1 are done. This is 3 5 or 9 by elimination. It's still tricky. There's still something to do here. If that was 9, that would be 9. Ah! If this was 9, in row 4, that would be 9. But in row 3, that would be 9. And that's impossible. Isn't that right? In row 4, 9 is either there or there. Yeah, so this can't be 9 because it'll put 9s in there in those cells in both rows 3 and 4. So that's a 5. That's a 9 in the circle. That's 8 on the end of the thermo. That's 9 in box. How do I know that? Why have I got a 9 pencil marked in there? Why isn't 9 necessarily there? I don't know. I'm not risking that. I can finish row 3 instead. There's no 7 in those cells. Okay, 6, 5, 8, 4, 7, 2. These are 1, 3, 9. I'm not risking my belief that 9 is there. This was something I did earlier. It was pencil marked, I think, 9 between those cells, but I don't know why. Not risking it. Okay, now this main diagonal, we've got the 5 on it. So 5 can come out of all of those cells, which are now a 3, 4, 7 triple, and that's 9 on this diagonal. And there we go. Now I can write 9 there. Maybe it was a good pencil mark. 3 there, 4 and 3 seem to be triples. That's a 5. Gonna finish now. That's what we like. 7, 4, 5. That diagonal's all done. This other diagonal, 4, 8, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. That must be 3 and 9 in the corner. Yes. 8 and 3 to place there. Oh gosh, I should probably have got, well, I say I should probably have stayed and finished this off before, and I could still have got to my son in time, because I did end up waiting 15 minutes. But would I have spotted, I don't know what, yeah, that time's irrelevant. You'll be able to tell my time from the video. Thank you, and there is the Hangul for thank you. Brilliant. Yeah, would I have spotted that absolutely fatuously easy 6? I don't know how many minutes of the video were wasted not getting that. I hope it wasn't many. Maybe it wasn't many. Because I do sort of remember getting those digits from that. That was a while before I stopped. Well, thank goodness for the break. That's all I can say. It's just weird. You know, the first thing I looked at was that column. Why hadn't I looked at that harder before? I don't know. Anyway, that is the Tornado Thermo by Sudoku, and very clever it was too. I mean, quite a bit of intricate diagonal work, I think, unless I was just being dim, and that does happen. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.